Chapter 332. She's getting more and more outrageous. Previously, when she was in the Xiang family mansion, she was so obsessed with her online dating partner. Of course, Xiang Yi's grandfather, Madame Xiang, didn't know that Xiang Yi had more than one online dating partner at that time. Madame Xiang liked to be lively. From time to time, there would be gatherings at home, and the guests were all her old friends. Occasionally, she would bring her nephews and grandchildren to hang out with each other. This wretched girl actually fell in love with a man who is more than 10 years older than me. He's a generation older than me too. If it's really a match made in heaven, it's fine. The Xiang family doesn't value seniority that much anyway. However, he's a notorious playboy. Xiang Yi insisted on marrying him and threw a tantrum for a long time before she stopped. Madame Xiang persuaded. Why don't we go back? Firstly, she was afraid that Xiang Yi would get so angry that he would fall ill when he saw Xiang Yi. Secondly, she was afraid that her little tutu would be reprimanded and beaten up. No matter how disobedient Xiang Yi was, she would still feel sorry for her. Although Xiang Yi's grandfather sounded stubborn, she was well aware that Xiang Yi doted on Xiang Yi the most among all the men in the family. The boys doted on her, but Xiang Yi doted on her. Other families would carry their children until they were 2 or 3 years old at most, but Xiang Yi didn't even walk much when she went shopping when she was 4 or 5 years old. Xiang Yi was the one who carried her around. I'm not going back. She should be the one avoiding me. How can I, an elder, avoid her? Xiang Yi's grandfather was fierce and he waved his gentleman's cane in the air twice. I'll go see what she's up to again. If she dares to mess around, I'll break her legs. Xiang Yi took the lead and walked in. Madame Xiang hurriedly followed him. There weren't many amusement parks in Tutu, and the rides were all low risk. They had a wide view and could see everything at a glance. As soon as Xiang Yi's grandfather, Madame Xiang, entered, she saw Li Jianyu and old Zhang, who were still on the merry-go-round, were having a great time. At this moment, it was already at 4 times the speed, and the merry-go-round had turned into a flying merry-go-round. Although Xiang Yin was old, he still had a sharp sense of hearing and sight. However, it took him some effort to see the faces of the two people clearly. Xiang Yin hollered, "This wretched lass has such poor taste. Not at all like him." Madame Xiang took out her reading glasses and gracefully put them on. After looking at them for a while, she sighed in melancholy. How could this be? Each one was uglier than the other. And each one was older than the other. Little Tutu's taste in men was really... It was too horrible to look at. All of a sudden, Xiang Yi noticed that there was some movement coming from the car that Tutu had crashed into. He squinted his sharp eyes and vaguely saw Shi Sui's back. He couldn't help but mutter, "This seems okay, Madame Xiang." "Old man, what did you say?" Xiang Yin cleared his throat and pretended to be fierce. "I'll go see what kind of wretched man she's found." Madame Xiang was even more worried. Is this guy even older? The two walked past the tripod where the camera was fixed. Li Jianyu and old Zhang were immersed in the childish joy of men and didn't notice the two of them at all. However, the netizens watching the live stream had sharp eyes. Wow! That pair of grandparents is so trendy. Ooh, grandpa's tie and grandma's bag are of the same color. Wait, didn't Sister E say that this amusement park is not open to the public? Could it be that they are her elders? Huh. Doesn't that mean our Shi Sui is going to meet her parents? Chapter 333. On the other side, Xiang Yi was happily playing with Shi Sui. There were 2 long bunny ears on the front of the bumper car, which would droop down like a lop-eared rabbit when they collided with each other. Xiang Yi rarely went to the amusement park after junior high school. The reason was simple. No matter how fun the amusement park was, it would be boring to play alone. After her parents got into an accident, she couldn't get over it for a long time and studied at home in elementary school. After junior high school, she kept skipping grades and was busy with her studies. Hence, she didn't have much time to socialize. The few friends whom she was close to had completely cut off contact with them because of that person in the past year. She felt that Sher Sui was really kind and mature. Yet she was willing to play such a childish game with her. She skillfully turned the steering wheel and locked onto Sher Sui's position before accelerating towards Tutu's car. Halfway through, an old man appeared out of nowhere. Xiangyi hurriedly stepped on the brakes, but due to inertia, she hit her head against the steering wheel. When she looked up, there was a red patch on her fair forehead. It was painful to look at. Xiang Yin couldn't help but frown. Xiangyi's eyes lit up when she saw him. "Grandpa," Xiang Yin immediately said. "Don't call me Grandpa. I'm not your grandpa. I don't have a granddaughter like you." His tone was cold and harsh, causing the light in Xiangyi's eyes to dim. She lowered her eyelashes and adjusted her emotions for a few seconds before pressing the button to reverse the car. Tutu's car reversed a great distance, and the bunny ears on the front of the car had malfunctioned. They drooped down dejectedly and looked listless. Xiang Yin was speechless. "What? I told you not to call me Grandpa and you're really not going to do it? You're finally obedient." Xiang Yin didn't expect that he would get angry when Xiang Yin was disobedient. Now that she was obedient, he got even angrier. Madame Xiang was a few steps slower. When she walked over, she discovered that Xiangyi had reversed the car and left without saying a word. Seeing that Xiang Yin's forehead and eyes were red, old Mrs. Xiang's heart melted and she waved at her. "Your grandpa is scaring you, ignore him. Be good, Tutu, come to grandma." Xiangyi hesitated, wondering if she should go over. Xiang Yin exclaimed, "Don't come over. I don't want to see you." Therefore, Little Rabbit backed the car further away. "Mr. Xiang, Madam Xiang." Sher Sui had alighted from the car at some point and greeted the two elders in a warm voice. Then, he began chatting with them naturally, and his manners were impeccable. After exchanging a few pleasantries, the topic turned back to Xiangyi. Xiang Yi's grandfather said sarcastically, "She has the time to come to the amusement park with you but doesn't have the time to visit me at the old residence. I think she doesn't take me seriously at all." Sher Sui said apologetically. "Grandpa, you've misunderstood. It's not that Sister E doesn't want to go. It's because of work. We're here today to shoot some material." He glanced in the direction of the merry-go-round, his temples twitching. "That's our show's director and cameraman. They're doing a live broadcast." Just as he was about to explain what a live broadcast meant, he heard Madame Xiang say, "Live broadcast? I've heard of it before. Live broadcasts sell goods. It's like shopping on TV. I've seen Mrs. Zhou's grandson next door teach her how to shop." She was really envious because neither she nor Xiang Yi knew how to shop. Sher Sui smiled and asked, "Grandma, what do you want to buy? Do you want Sister E to come over and buy it for you?" Before Madame Xiang could answer, Xiang Yin interjected, "No need." Chapter 334. Madame Xiang retorted, "Do you know how to do it?" Xiang Yin said guiltily, "I can learn." "You've already learned it several times," Madame Xiang said, exposing him mercilessly. Xiang Yin thought, "You're hurting my feelings, old woman." He retorted stubbornly, "Anyway, I don't want that wretched girl to teach me. I'm telling you, if she ignores me, I won't say a word to her either." Xiang Yin was full of energy and roaring loudly. Xiangyi vaguely heard what he said and wanted to hide in a corner, but the car didn't move at all. She looked up and realized that Sher Sui had pressed the switch with her fair and slender fingers. "Where are you going to hide?" Sher Sui asked smilingly while looking down at her. Xiangyi looked away and said, I'm not hiding." She just felt a little aggrieved. It was clearly not her fault, but she had to be scolded by her grandfather who used to dote on her the most. Sher Sui stared at her for a few seconds before leaning forward and squatting beside her. She said in a low and gentle voice, "Sister E, running away is useful, but it's not the best way to solve problems. If you don't want to face it, I'll leave with you. If you're willing to face it, I'll stay with you too. Grandpa and Grandma aren't that scary, are they?" His persuasive tone made Xiang Yi's heart waver. Sister Yi, if you're scared, you don't have to hide so far away. Shi Sui smirked and continued, just hide behind me. She didn't know why, but inexplicably, Xiang Yi was a little touched. She felt that Shi Sui was so mature while she was so childish. She didn't deserve to be a fan anymore. My grandpa is very painful when he beats people up. As a hot-tempered traditional Chinese medicine practitioner, Xiang Yin's grandpa would often say, I'll blow a swana at your grave, to his patients who refused to listen to his advice. He was also very ruthless when he beat people up, and Xiang Yin's uncle would often be beaten to tears. It's okay, I can take a beating. A few seconds later, Xiang Yi pursed her lips and said, Okay then. I'll go see Grandpa. Xiang Yin rubbed her head gently. Sister Yi, you're so obedient. After Li Jianyu and old Zhang let go of themselves and reaped the joy, they finally remembered their original job. They hurriedly carried the camera and other live stream equipment to Xiang Yi. Coincidentally, he saw that Xiang Yi was driving Tutu's car and had Shi Sui sit in the front passenger seat. Xiang Yi even reminded him to fasten his seatbelt. Although Tutu's car was a two-seater, Shi Sui was tall and had long legs. After sitting in the car, the originally small space became even more cramped. Their arms seemed to be touching each other. The netizens in the live stream, ha ha ha, fastening the seatbelt is so cute, there are thousands of paths but safety comes first. This car is so cute. He wanted it. I want it. The two of them drove to Xiang Yi's grandfather, Madame Xiang. Shi Sui got out of the car while Xiang Yi was still hesitating. The man chuckled and opened the car door for her. He drew a half circle in the air with his hand, as if inviting a proud and elegant princess to dance. Princess Tutu, please get out of the car. Xiang Yi was speechless. She was a little embarrassed, but she was also a little happy to have a way out. She got out of the car and tugged at the hem of her clothes uncomfortably. She said softly, Hello, Grandpa and Grandma. Xiang Yin was speechless. She's calling me Grandpa again. She's so obedient. But does she think I'll forgive her just like that? How naive. I'm the most difficult old man to coax in this world. My wife is the most difficult old woman to coax in this world. Don't even think about coaxing us. To his surprise, Xiang Yi asked gently, Grandma, shall I teach you how to buy things in the live stream? Madame Xiang exclaimed. Sure, sure. Ah, Tutu is so sensible. Xiang Yin was speechless. The netizens in the live stream. Reality, the reality of the world. Ha ha ha, does anyone want to go to the streamer's live stream and spam speak slowly? My sister is the same. She's so obsessed with shopping for herself. When I asked her to buy me socks, she said you're not worthy cac. The live stream soon finished describing the product and Xiang Yin was obviously a little tempted. He egged Madame Xiang on. Old woman, buy it for me. Madame Xiang said leisurely. It's not like you don't have any pants to wear. It'd be a waste to buy so many. Xiang Yin was speechless. Madame Xiang did it on purpose. After getting along with Xiang Yin for decades, she had a firm grasp of his character. Sure enough, after being rejected by her, Xiang Yin crossed his arms angrily. He didn't want to buy it at first, but when he heard the live stream say that there were only 5,000 pairs left, he couldn't help but poke Xiang Yi's arm. It was the kind of touch that caused him to leave immediately. He said arrogantly, Hey, buy it for me. Chapter 336. Huh. Xiang Yi froze in shock. Is Grandpa talking to me? Seeing that she was ignoring him, Xiang Yin said reluctantly, I'll give you money. I won't take advantage of you. A faint smile appeared in Shi Sui's eyes. Madame Xiang turned around and covered her mouth as she snickered. Who was the one who said he was going to ignore little Tutu? How many minutes has it been? Xiang Yi snapped back to reality and said, Grandpa, I'll buy it for you now. What color do you want? Xiang Yin humphed and said, Black one, it'll go well. He had learned the word go well from Madame Xiang. Women are so troublesome. They've been wearing couple outfits for decades and yet they don't get tired of it. He had no choice but to wear it with her. Xiangyi smiled and said, "Okay." There were some haters in the live stream. She bought it just like that. She didn't even ask for his size. She's so careless. I'm dying of laughter. What kind of rich and beautiful girl is she? She's trying to please Grandpa with a pair of pants that cost more than 100 yuan. Serves Grandpa right for not liking her. After all, boys are meant to carry on the family name while girls are meant to be outsiders sooner or later. In the next second, Xiangyi said, "Grandpa, I remember that you wear XL. Can I buy XXL pants for this pair of pants? It'll be more comfortable if the sweatpants are looser." Xiang Yin muttered softly, "At least you still have some conscience." Madame Xiang said smilingly, "Little Tutu, let me test you. What size shoes do your grandpa and I wear?" Xiangyi blurted out without hesitation, "Grandma wears 36 and Grandpa wears 43. Our little Tutu has such a good memory." Madame Xiang couldn't help but praise her. "You've been meticulous ever since you were young. You're much more considerate than your brothers. Your grandpa and grandma's little jacket while the rest of them are at most military coats. As for your uncle, he can't even be considered a pair of underpants." Uft. Sure enough, Xiang Yi's uncle was being despised every day. In the live stream. This time, no one indulged the haters and they immediately started retorting. "Xiang Yin, do you know that the Qing dynasty? Do you still value boys over girls? You call this not attentive? Anyway, I don't even know how big my grandparents were. Those who are against Sister E, ask yourselves, do you have the patience to accompany the elderly? Do you have the patience to teach them how to use the internet over and over again?" Xiangyi accompanied the two elders to watch the live stream and bought a lot of things. However, this streamer did not expect that in just 10 minutes, 1 or 2 million people would flood into his live broadcast room. There wasn't a lot of traffic in the morning, but to be able to reach this number meant he was on fire. However, the streamer was confused. He did not understand how he became so popular. Moreover, there was a group of people in the live broadcast room who were spamming something like, "Speak slowly." What kind of joke was this? Is this a new type of internet slang? The clip of Xiangyi teaching her grandparents how to watch the live broadcast was also edited and posted on a video website. Unexpectedly, it became popular. In just a few hours, the number of likes had exceeded 200,000 and the number of shares had reached tens of thousands. "Ah, this video is so nice. You speak better than me." He posted it in the family group chat. "My mom and aunts have learned to watch live streams and shop online. My grandparents said that this girl is beautiful and kind-hearted. Judging from the way she looks at me, I suspect that Sister E is their biological granddaughter." It was also from this day onwards that Xiangyi began to gain a large number of middle-aged and elderly mother fans, milk powder fans, and milk powder fans. Her popularity soared. When her grandparents were satisfied with the shopping, Xiangyi finally turned off the live stream on her cell phone. Madame Xiang said softly, "Old rabbit, look, little Tutu has returned to her original self." Xiang Yin said awkwardly, "I haven't forgiven her yet. Does she think she can coax me with such a simple method? She only managed to coax 1% of me. Humph." Chapter 337. Xiang Yin stole a glance at Xiangyi, only to discover Shui handed him a bottle of water and even took the initiative to unscrew the cap. Xiang Yin squinted and fixed his gaze on her. She was quite pleasing to the eye just now, but now she's so annoying. However, Madame Xiang mistakenly thought that the two of them were in a relationship. Perhaps because of Li Jianyu and old Zhang, she was more and more satisfied with Shui. In the manor, Sangchen slept until 9 o'clock in the morning, which was a rare indulgence for him. According to his habit, he read the financial headlines while drinking black coffee, and then glanced at the stock charts. Immediately afterwards, Sangchen began to process his emails. Although he was on vacation, there were still some things that he had to take care of. Halfway through replying to the English email, his cell phone vibrated. He picked it up to take a look, only to see that it was a message from Guardian of the best Seong-yi in the world. Guardian, sorry to disturb you, I've sorted out the details of the case and sent them to you. Can I send the document to you directly on WeChat? Sangchen expressed assent. Soon Guardian sent the document over. Sangchen opened it and skimmed through it before carefully combing through it. The gist of it was that Guardian's good friend had graduated from college this year and she majored in chemistry. When she applied for a job, she came in first in the written test and interview. However, in the end, she was not hired and a man who ranked lower than her was hired instead. She called the HR department to inquire about it, but the reply she received was that the position was more suitable for men. Guardian's good friend was furious, but she had just graduated and didn't have the money to file a lawsuit. Guardian wanted to seek help from a public interest lawyer on Weibo, so she tried to post it. She didn't expect to receive a reply from Sangchen. She was already very grateful. After learning that Sangchen was Sister Yi's elder brother, she felt even more embarrassed because she felt that she had caused trouble for Sangchen and indirectly for Sister Yi. Guardian, is this lawsuit easy to fight? If it's a waste of time, forget it. My friend is looking for a new job. Guardian, pitiful. JPG. In the beginning, she and her good friend were indeed furious, but as time passed, they had no choice but to accept it. After all, there was too much inequality in this society. They were just two ordinary freshmen. How could they fight against those cruel rules? Chen. I'll arrange for someone to follow up. Chen. Do you have any more expression packs? The Guardian on the other end of the screen was stunned for a moment. Only then did he realize that the emoticon she had just sent was made from Sister Yi's GIF. Guardian. Yes. She hurriedly sent over the dozens of Sister Yi emojis she had made. On the other end of the screen, Sangchen was expressionless and serious. He saved the emojis one by one. Chen. For the sake of the emoji pack, I will personally take charge of this case. The trial is expected to start in 3 days. You and your friend should prepare for it. Guardian. Did she see wrongly? The top lawyer in the country, a big shot who only took on cases in the millions, was actually going to personally take on such a small case. Guardian was instantly terrified. This is not necessary. Moreover, Sangchen was not a public interest lawyer. His legal fees were very, very expensive. Even if Sangchen didn't want it, she and her friend should give him some. She reckoned that she and her friend would have to eat dirt for the next few months. Buzz. She lowered her head and looked at her phone. Chen, in the future, if you have any tutu emojis, send them to me as soon as possible. Thank you. After turning off the screen, Sangchen returned to his cold, noble, and elegant appearance. Chapter 338. At the amusement park. When Li Jianyu heard that Madame Xiang wanted to take a photo, he volunteered to do it for her. Xiang Yin looked extremely displeased. What? Are you trying to snatch my job? Shi Sui said. Why don't we all take a photo? Grandma, you can use the photo of whoever you like. Madame Xiang nodded gracefully and said, Thank you for the trouble then. Hence, the netizens in the live stream witnessed Madame Xiang striking a pose that was commonly used throughout the country. A shawl. Director Li is so hardworking. He's even lying on the ground to take a photo. Ha ha ha. Damn. I suspect that Madame Xiang is spying on our family life. It's so realistic. My mother and aunt always take this pose when they go to scenic spots. After changing a few poses, Madame Xiang came over to take a look at the photos. Li Jianyu was also very good at it. After getting Madame Xiang's permission, he got old Zhang to do a close-up of everyone's cell phones. First, it was Xiang Yi's. Her photos were quite decent, which was not bad. Next was Li Jianyu's photo, which was impressive as he took a beautiful photo. Next was Shi Sui's photo, which was surprisingly good at taking photos and made Madame Xiang look warm and affectionate. Finally, it was Xiang Yin's turn. The netizens in the live stream mocked mercilessly. "Grandpa, you're a straight man. You've made Grandma look like a dot in the photo." "Thank you, I'm offended. Even my boyfriend looks so ugly when he takes photos of me." "Ha ha ha, I even saw several photos with their eyes closed. They were really perfect when Grandma blinked." Madame Xiang adjusted her shawl and said with a smile, "I hereby announce that the best photo goes to little Tutu." Before she could finish, someone criticized her. "Even if you're biased, you shouldn't be like this, right? Anyone can tell that Director Li and Shi Sui have done a good job." "I'm speechless." The next second, Madame Xiang said leisurely, "Little Tutu, Shi Sui, and Little Li are tied for first place." She winked at the three of them and said, "There will be rewards for all of you later." The netizens in front of the screen were stunned for a moment before they realized how brilliant Madame Xiang's EQ was. "Ah, Grandma is so gentle. I don't care, I want to cheer for Grandma." Xiang Yin panicked. "What about me?" "Second," Madame Xiang said in disdain. "You wish. You're last." It could be said that the double standards were incisively and vividly displayed. Feeling aggrieved and infuriated, Xiang Yin turned around and ignored Madame Xiang. He asked Xiang Yi fiercely, "Are my photos really that bad?" "Xiang Yi, what kind of question was this?" Just as she was struggling with how to answer, Shi Sui naturally continued, "Grandpa, Grandma must like the photos you took the most because you're the person she likes the most." Xiang Yin's face stiffened. 1 second, 2 seconds. In the third second, the corners of his mouth curled up with joy. This little imp is quite eloquent. However, in the blink of an eye, he recalled the scene of Shi Sui handing Xiang Yi a glass of water just now, and his expression immediately changed. Glib tongue. What if he bullies little Tutu in the future? I can't have such a man. The netizens watching the live stream all expressed that Xiang Yin's facial expression was textbook level. Of course, Madame Xiang could guess Xiang Yin's thoughts. She found an excuse to ask him to go to the side to take photos of the flowers and plants. She then affectionately held Shi Sui's hand. "Grandson-in-law, you must take good care of Tutu." Xiang Yi was confused. "Grandma, did you misunderstand something?" She was about to explain, but Shi Sui smiled and said, "Grandma, don't stand on ceremony with me. It's my duty to take care of Tutu." Xiang Yi was dumbfounded. Chapter 339. Her cherry lips quivered and she muttered, "No, he's not." Xiang Yi suddenly felt an arm around her shoulder and was momentarily at a loss for words. She looked at Shi Sui in astonishment. Shi Sui's expression remained the same as he leaned over and whispered a few words into her ear. Xiang Yi was speechless. Shi Sui said that since Grandma was so happy, he didn't want to disappoint her and said that he could reluctantly pretend to be her boyfriend. It sounded like he was being considerate of her and Grandma, but Xiang Yi felt that something was amiss. The fans who were watching the live stream were flabbergasted. This is the ugly husband meeting the parents, right? Ugly. Mind your words, how is our Shi Sui ugly? Official announcement. Shi Sui didn't deny that Grandma called him her grandson-in-law, which means he's acquiescing. Madame Xiang couldn't help but cover her mouth and snicker when she saw how harmonious and intimate the two of them were. Seems like my dear Tutu and her grandson-in-law have a good relationship. Madame Xiang thought that it was good for girls to be in a relationship a few times as they would become more mature when it came to relationships. Xiang Yin, who was standing nearby, saw it. His eyes were about to pop out of their sockets and he hollered, "Rascal! Get your hands off me! Get them off me!" Xiang Yi shuddered in shock. Shi Sui's hand on her shoulder was still very stable. Xiang Yin stopped taking pictures of the flowers and plants and instead rushed over aggressively, hitting Shi Sui with his walking stick. Shi Sui didn't dodge and instead took the hit. Xiang Yin was so strong that Xiang Yi could hear the muffled sound of the walking stick hitting her flesh. "Grandpa! Old man! Xiang Yin ignored the two of them and barked at Shi Sui. You're not allowed to touch our tutu. Our tutu is such an adorable girl. You're not worthy of her at all. Don't try to get up to any tricks. As long as I'm around, don't even think about abducting tutu. He took a deep breath and added fiercely, no man can do it. When the netizens in the live stream saw this scene, some were worried, while others were gloating. Wow, Grandpa is so fierce, it must have hurt a lot. Glass shards again. Grandpa, don't torture them, QAQ. Why is this old man so cocky? How dare you look down on our Shi Sui? Please, your granddaughter is the one who doesn't deserve it. That's great, please break them up. I've long disliked the vase fairy. Why does she get all the good things? She should just die alone as an old nun. Hee hee. Even Li Jianyu thought that Shi Sui was going to fail this time. As a director, especially a variety show director, he was very good at reading people's eyes. Artistes who used a love script to act and those who truly liked someone were completely different. He had long seen through Shi Sui's feelings for Sister Yi. Shi Sui has been too careless this time. She had improved Madame Xiang's impression of her but caused Xiang Yi's grandfather to detest her greatly. That was simply not worth the loss. Unexpectedly, before Xiang Yi's grandfather swung his cane again, Xiang Yi pulled Shi Sui back with one hand and grabbed Xiang Yi's cane with the other. Grandpa, you've misunderstood. I'm not going to his house. Xiang Yi's grandfather hollered. Do you still want him to marry into our family? Madame Xiang coughed lightly and said, It's not impossible. Xiang Yi's grandfather flew into a rage. I don't agree to this marriage. He straightened his back and waited for Xiang Yi to promise him that she would draw a clear line between her and Xiang Yi. In the next second, Xiang Yi swallowed her saliva and ran away with Shi Sui. The netizens were dumbfounded. Xiang Yi's grandfather was speechless. What? You want to elope? Chapter 340. Xiang Yi and Shi Sui were running so fast that Li Jianyu and old Zhang chased after them for a long time but still couldn't catch up. Instead, they were exhausted. Oh my God, I can't take it anymore, I'm exhausted, Li Jianyu said, panting heavily. Old Zhang was carrying equipment that weighed dozens of kilograms and was so tired that he couldn't speak. Li Jianyu leaned in front of the camera and said, Hee hee, maybe you guys want to see the two of us continue the merry-go-round? The netizens were appalled. Ah, go away. You're so ugly. Shi Sui, Sister Yi, you're so beautiful. Director Li, you're so ugly. Sui, perform a 360-degree Thomas spin for Daddy and I'll forgive you. Li Jianyu was quite good at controlling the situation. Amidst the laughter, he temporarily turned off the live stream. He muttered to himself, Daddy Shi is indeed Daddy Shi. He's able to turn the tables and show off. So what if I offend Xiang Yi? So what if I get beaten up? I got Sister Yi. On the other hand, after making sure that they were far enough away, Xiang Yi breathed a sigh of relief and said, You scared me to death, Grandpa is so fierce. She felt that if they didn't leave now, Grandpa would break Shi Sui's legs. Shi Sui ran with her for such a long distance, but his breathing was not irregular at all. In fact, he was even in the mood to tease her. Sister Yi hand. Xiang Yi hurriedly let go of his hand as if she had been electrocuted. Don't get me wrong, I'm just afraid that you'll get beaten up by Grandpa. Yes, I know. Meeting the man's smiling eyes, Xiang Yi suddenly had a feeling of discomfort. Ahem, I'll call Grandma and then we'll go pick up Xiao Naofu. Xiang Yi went to the side to make a call. Shi Sui could vaguely hear her acting coquettishly. When she was acting coquettishly, her voice was gentle and soft, but it was sweet. However, when she returned to his side, she regained her composure and said, Grandma said that she would help me coax Grandpa. But then again, why do the two of them think that we're in love? The girl was confused. The actor who had caused the misunderstanding to deepen didn't change his expression. Maybe it's because my brother is too likable. Xiang Yi. Question mark. Don't you know that you have to make an appointment to go on a blind date with your brother during the new year? Xiangyi. She was shocked. No, I'm no longer a fan. I'm not fit to be a fan. Is Shui that popular in the matchmaking market? No wonder Grandma liked him so much. She was curious. What does it feel like to go on a blind date? Is there really such a weirdo as described on the internet? Nan had previously shared a love gossip post with her, scolding those top-notch blind dates. Shui. Do you want to know? He chuckled softly. Next New Year, how about I give you a walk-in experience? Xiangyi thought he was joking and said, It's not right to cut in line. Why don't I line up? Shui stopped in her tracks. Then, as if nothing had happened, she caught up with her. Okay, I'll call you when it's your turn. At the Logic Esports base. Xiangyi and the rest arrived at 11 o'clock. Apart from Xiao Naofu, who was still alive and kicking, no one else had woken up. At this moment in the living room, Xiangyi stared at the huge cat tree, the luxurious cat villa, and the rich cat playground and fell into deep thought. Did I treat Xiao Naofu too badly? Brother and the rest are too nice to Xiao Naofu. She somehow felt like a poor child who had gone to a rich relative's house to be pampered. Hearing the footsteps, Xiao Naofu turned around and wagged its tail excitedly before scurrying towards Xiangyi. Oh, stupid woman. I want a hug. I want a kiss. All of a sudden, a pair of large hands grabbed the back of Xiao Naofu's neck and raised it in front of him, smiling lazily. Xiao Naofu, long time no see. Do you want a kiss with your brother? Get lost, damn it. Chapter 341. Shui's peach blossom eyes curved slightly as a playful smile flashed across his face. He leaned down and pretended to kiss Xiao Naofu. His pale thin lips were getting closer and closer to Xiao Naofu. Meow meow meow. Xiao Naofu stretched out its chubby paws and desperately blocked Shui's lips, not allowing him to get any closer. Shui's eyes flashed with a sinister light as he slowly retreated. Xiao Naofu breathed a sigh of relief. Woo, this hoo-hoo has protected his innocence. Suddenly, Shui made a sound of surprise. Sister E, do you think Xiao Naofu is bald? Xiangyi leaned over to take a closer look and said worriedly. It seems to be a little. The fur on the top of Xiao Naofu's head was obviously thinner than the rest of his body. Just how long has fourth brother been stroking me in these few days? Xiao Naofu's eyes widened as it raised its paws and rubbed its head. Did this hoo-hoo's fur really become thinner? Then wouldn't it become a bald tiger? Unexpectedly, what greeted it was a sudden kiss from Shui. With a soft pop sound, the man's lips were imprinted on Xiao Naofu's cheek. Xiao Naofu, rumble, the whole world began to collapse. It was as if it had been struck by lightning as it stared blankly at Shui. Why are you shedding fur? Shui's lips curled into a devilish smile. It doesn't taste good at all when I kiss you. Xiao Naofu. Dogman. F***ck. You mother***cur. I'm going to bite you to death. It opened its mouth wide and revealed its sharp teeth, looking like it was going to fight Shui to the death. But in the next second, it fell into a warm and fragrant embrace. Xiao Naofu, don't bite. Xiangyi spoke in a tone like she was educating a child. Xiao Naofu pointed its paws at Shui. Woo. He kissed me. Dog man, he kissed me. Xiangyi understood what it meant. She coaxed it softly. Brother Shui kissed you because he likes you. Shui added fuel to the fire. Yes, I never kiss other people's kittens. Xiao Naofu was so angry that he lost his mind. Woof. Woof woof. He gradually turned into a dog. Li Jianyu and old Zhang, who were watching from the side, were about to go crazy with laughter. Xiangyi. Tong Tong, do you still remember that you are a little tiger? Which little tiger in the world would bark like a dog? Okay, don't be angry anymore. Our Xiao Naofu is the most obedient. Xiangyi paced back and forth with it in her arms, patiently coaxing it for a few minutes. Xiao Naofu sniffled and snuggled into Xiangyi's arms, rubbing its head against her cloud-like softness. Not far away, Shi Sui's dark eyes suddenly narrowed. After Xiao Naofu whined and whined for a long time, fourth brother Xiangyu woke up. He washed up as fast as he could and didn't even have time to comb his hair. The first thing he did was to go downstairs to feed Xiao Naofu cat food. Seeing Xiangyu's figure, Li Jianyu motioned for old Zhang to start the live stream. The first scene of the live stream was the esports god's sleepy appearance with his hair standing on end. "Sister." His voice was slightly hoarse as he had just woken up. "Brother, I'm here to take Xiao Naofu home." Xiangyu was silent. He took Xiao Naofu from her arms and skillfully rubbed its head. He said coldly, "Changing environments often is not good for cats' mental health." The netizens in the live stream. "I love Smog's look when he just woke up. Ha ha ha, Sameogu is rubbing the cat like he's making meatballs. Sameogu, without Xiao Naofu, it's not good for my mental health." Chapter 342. Ha ha ha, you keep pretending. I still have the video of you snorting cats last time. Xiangyi. Let's eat first, we'll ask Xiao Naofu for his opinion later. Xiangyu nodded coldly. What do you want to eat? I'll order takeout. I've prepared the ingredients. Xiangyi's eyes curved slightly, as if there was a gentle moonlight hidden in her eyes. Brother, let me cook for you guys. Xiangyu said in all seriousness. You do yours, I'll order mine. His sister's food belonged to him. Takeout belonged to Wonder and the other animals. The esports base had hired an auntie to cook, but the players were still used to ordering takeout. The auntie helped Xiangyi and soon, the aroma of food began to waft out of the kitchen. The smell was so fragrant that the players who couldn't be woken up by the alarm clock all woke up one by one. Auntie, what did you make today? It smells so good. Amazing, it's braised pork, right? I'll have 2 bowls of rice later. I think I can smell the pork rib soup. Sob, I'm so hungry. Do you have any snacks to fill my stomach? Xiangyu waited until they were almost done with their discussion before he casually said, My sister is here. Huh. Everyone was shocked. They had signed a contract with the livestream software to stream for a certain amount of time every month. Occasionally they would watch the live streams of other streamers, but there was one live stream program that everyone had to watch in addition to the replay videos of the competition. That was Xiangyi's edited version of her cooking. It was a godly meal. Watching her cook was simply a form of enjoyment. They didn't expect that Xiangyi would come to their esports base to cook today. The group of youngsters immediately began to fawn over Xiangyu. I'll scoop Xiao Naofu's poop today. Smog, you're my good brother, so your sister is our sister too. Brother, do you want some water? Do you want ice water, hot water, or warm water? Warm water. Warm water. He was undoubtedly a bootlicker. Xiangyu waved his phone. I ordered takeout for you guys. I'll eat my sister's cooking later, you guys eat takeout. Humph. Stingy. Forget it if you don't want to eat. Takeout is just as delicious. Just as he finished speaking, the takeout and Xiangyi's dishes were served at the same time. Xiangyu ordered the crayfish that they often ate, as well as a barbecue wrapped in foil, which was still warm after being unwrapped. Xiangyi made braised pork with quail eggs, braised prawns, braised gourd with ginger sauce, stir-fried vegetables with mushrooms, and pork ribs with corn soup. The main dish was curry chicken omelette rice. I made a few home-cooked dishes. Have a taste and see if you like them, Xiangyi said gently. Wonder and the others first tasted the crayfish and barbecue. Then, under Xiangyu's murderous gaze, each of them took a bite of Xiangyi's food. The braised pork was fatty but not greasy. It was soft after being stewed. The fried quail egg had a texture similar to that of a tiger's skin. It was full of sugar-colored syrup. The prawns were light red and glossy, fresh, salty and slightly sweet. The sponge gourd was refreshing and delicious, tender and fragrant. The omelette rice mixed with curry, The unique spiciness of curry and the tender and smooth egg skin were a perfect match. There was nothing more blissful than scooping a big mouthful into one's mouth. Eat. Delicious. So delicious. What kind of trash is takeout? The group of young teenagers were not even afraid of Xiangyu. They buried their heads in the food crazily. Bianyu asked, "Sister, it must be hard for you to descend to the mortal world, right? Sister, do you play games? I'll take you flying. Sister, do you still need a younger brother?" Chapter 343. The youths ate until the corners of their mouths were glossy and their cheeks were puffed up. The netizens commented, "I'm used to it. Miss Xiang is really a Mary Sue." Vicissitudes of life lighting up smoke. JPG. I suspect that Sister E has drugged the food. Otherwise, why is everyone eating so happily? Are these still the rebellious and wild kids who made the club manager and coach worry so much? How can they become obedient in front of Xiangyi? While Xiangyi was feeding Xiao Naofu the prawns, the boys turned to look at Shi Sui. Brother Shi Sui. Captain Wander couldn't care less about table manners. While chewing, he asked, "Are there any requirements for appearing on your show?" Shi Sui raised her eyebrows and said, "I'm afraid you'll have to ask the director." Wander looked at Li Jianyu and asked, "Uncle, can we appear on your show?" Li Jianyu was confused. "I'm only 2 years older than Shi Sui. Why is Shi Sui her brother and I'm her uncle?" "I'll give you 10 seconds to reorganize your words," Li Jianyu said sternly with a sullen expression. Wander was stunned for a moment before coming to a sudden realization. He exclaimed loudly, "Uncle, can you give us a chance?" Li Jianyu was speechless. The comment section of the live stream was flooded with ha 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 comments. Li Jianyu said calmly, "No, you guys are too expensive, we can't afford to hire you." The esports industry in China was very popular, and with the development of live streaming, the commercial value of esports players was now no less than that of celebrities. It would be fine to hire 1 or 2 people, but with so many of them, they really couldn't afford to hire them. Wander immediately exclaimed, "Uncle, I can do it for free." Ah Shui chimed in, "I don't want it either." Xiao Yang said shyly, "As long as I'm full." Li Jianyu was speechless. "Sister E, you're indeed worthy of your reputation. You've saved the program team a 7-figure sum of money with just 1 meal. Isn't it just calling me uncle? What's the big deal? You can even call me grandpa." Li Jianyu revealed a silly smile as if a pie had fallen from the sky. After the meal, the youngsters were all stuffed. They were all slumped on the sofa or beside the coffee table like a group of salted fish. Xiangyi placed Xiao Naofu on the ground, then pointed at Xiangyu and then at herself. "Do you want to stay with Big Brother or come home with me?" Xiangyu was full of confidence. He had doted on Fu Fu so much that he could get whatever he wanted. He even gave his own bed to Fu Fu as a cat bed. Therefore, Fu Fu would definitely choose him. The next second, Xiao Naofu didn't even look at him as it happily jumped into Xiangyi's arms and hummed softly. "Meow ah meow. Stupid woman. Bring this hoo-hoo home." Xiangyu's face was filled with disbelief. How could this be? How could this be? Was the love that Fu Fu had for him all these years all fake? Coincidentally, the camera gave him a close-up, and the netizens in the live stream couldn't stop laughing. So love will disappear, right? DBQ Sameogu is really pitiful, but I really want to laugh. Poor Sameogu, he's finally going to find out that Xiao Naofu is a green TB asterisk Tsich. Xiangyi carried Xiao Naofu in her arms and got ready to leave. "Wait!" Xiangyu suddenly called out to her, his eyes falling on her arms. "Fu Fu, is there something that I haven't done well enough?" Xiao Naofu blinked its clear, ice-blue cat eyes and meowed. "Meow meow, goodbye, big brother. I'll miss you." Xiangyu gazed at it deeply and said in a low voice, "Fu Fu, I'll come and see you." Xiao Naofu turned its head and nestled in Xiangyi's arms with a mischievous smile. "Miss you? No way." Sad. No way. Hee hee, I'm just pretending. Chapter 344. This scene was completely recorded by the camera. Lee Jianyu's original intention was to film Smog and Cat 2.0, but to his surprise, he managed to capture the scene of the scumbag Xiao Naofu. Green tea Xiao Naofu, scumbag cat. Damn it, this smile is so smart, it's really smart. I suggest everyone hit the scumbag Xiao Naofu on the public chat. Everyone thought that apart from Shi Sui, Xiao Naofu was invincible. However, when Xiangyi and the others returned to the manor, they discovered that there was an adorable little Shiba Inu at home. Its back was light yellow, and its belly was cream-colored. Its eyes were watery and it was lying on the ground obediently. Sangchen said coldly, "This is a dog that uncle's friend gave him. He wants you to take care of it for him for a few days. Its name is," he reluctantly said, "Little Shiji." The man, who was as cold as a snow-capped mountain, uttered these 3 words with an inexplicably cute accent. Xiangyi asked, "Little lion. Its fur color does resemble a lion." Sangchen said sternly, "It's little Shiji." Bei. Xiangyi bent forward and rubbed little Shiji's head tentatively. The little Shiba Inu rubbed against her palm obediently. "Woof. It's so cute, I'll make you some delicious food later." Woof woof. When Xiao Naofu saw this scene, it instantly felt as if the world was collapsing. Am I not this stupid woman's favorite? She actually wants to. She's going to cook for this mutt. Xiao Naofu was so infuriated that he scurried over on his short legs and roared at little Shiji. Meow. Meow. Little Shiji. Omega. It stared at Xiao Naofu for a few seconds and took the initiative to lick Xiao Naofu's fur to show its friendliness. Xiao Naofu thought, "Ah, damn it, my body is so dirty." It waved its paws angrily and slapped little Shiji's face. Little Shiji did not retaliate after being hit and simply took a few steps back, feeling a little aggrieved. Xiao Naofu refused to give up and wanted to hit it again. Its body was suddenly suspended in the air. Xiangyi had picked it up. The little cat felt so wronged that it wanted to die. Meow meow meow. Let this dog go. I'm the only one in this house. Xiao Naofu, it's only staying for a few days. Xiangyi tried to reason with it. Little uncle will take it away when the time comes. Xiao Naofu. I won't listen, I won't listen. It wriggled and broke free from Xiangyi's arms. It jumped onto the table and chose Xiangyi's cup. It waved its meaty claws and moved the cup to the edge of the table. Meow. Li Jianyu said in surprise. Is it threatening you, Sister E? Xiangyi. Think so. Woof. Little Shiji had no idea what was going on at all. It rubbed Xiangyi's calf affectionately, seemingly wanting her to rub its head. Seeing this scene, Xiao Naofu fumed and turned on its little jerk mode. Bang! The cup fell to the ground. Still not appeased, Xiao Naofu jumped onto the sofa and stepped on Tutu's plushie a few times. It then sat down aggrievedly and shook its chubby body while sobbing. Xiangyi's heart immediately softened. How could she bear to scold it? Just as she was thinking about how to coax Xiao Naofu, Shi Sui stuffed something into her hand. Xiangyi looked down to see that it was little Shiji's leash. Sister E, let's go walk the dog, she said without mentioning Xiao Naofu. However, Xiao Naofu leaped over like a whirlwind. Meow. Its tone became more and more childish and pitiful. Meow meow. Stupid woman, you're not allowed to walk this dog. Most I'll let you walk it, okay? Chapter 345. 5 minutes later. Shi Sui held onto little Shiji's leash while Xiangyi carried Xiao Naofu in her arms. The two of them took a stroll in the shade of the garden. Xiao Naofu rested its meaty paws on Xiangyi's shoulder and gave little Shiji a smug look. Little Shiji barked foolishly. Woof! Xiao Naofu humphed. It then glanced at Shi Sui smugly. A dog-like man walking a dog. What a perfect match. Shi Sui raised her eyebrows with a look that seemed to be saying, I advise you not to be so arrogant. Xiao Naofu was speechless. I'm scared. It hugged Xiangyi tightly and said in a childish voice. Meow, Xiangyi said helplessly. Xiao Naofu, how many meals do you eat a day at Fourth Brother's place? It had only been a few days and it had obviously gained weight. Xiao Naofu felt extremely guilty. Well, I just have 3 meals a day plus canned food, dried meat, dried fish, nutrition cream, hair removal cream, and some snacks, Shi Sui said. Actually, I have a way to make Xiao Naofu and little Shiji live in harmony. Xiangyi's eyes lit up. Huh! Shi Sui pushed her glasses up her nose and said with a smile. Why don't we send Xiao Naofu away? Xiao Naofu was speechless. Listen, is that even human? Shi Sui winked at Xiangyi. The girl understood and cooperated with him tacitly. I think we should give it to second brother. He'll definitely design a scientific and nutritious meal plan. It'll be just nice for Xiao Naofu to lose weight. Second brother. Isn't that the devil Xiangli? If I go, won't I be taken to be sterilized? Xiao Naofu panicked. Meow, I don't want to go to second brother's place. Shi Sui said nonchalantly. Little Shiji is so obedient and eats so little. It can even guard the house. Xiao Naofu's ears twitched and it meowed anxiously. Meow meow meow. This hoo-hoo can also be obedient. It can also be obedient. Can also eat less. As for guarding the house, it also. Therefore, in order to express its ferocity, Xiao Naofu made its fiercest expression. Woof woof woof. Xiangyi tried hard to hold back her laughter and quietly mouthed to Shi Sui. Is it really okay for us to trick it like this? Shi Sui's expression did not change. Children will only grow up after being beaten up. Little Shiji. Woof. His dark eyes were filled with confusion. He seemed to be wondering if Xiao Naofu was his own kind. Shi Sui praised her. Well, not bad. She screamed so fiercely that the bad guys must have been scared away. Xiao Naofu was elated by the praise. Woof. Little Shiji responded heartlessly. Woof woof. But in Xiao Naofu's eyes, this dog was provoking it. Roar. Woof woof. Woof. Woof woof woof. Xiangyi couldn't help but turn her face away and laugh. Not far away, Li Jianyu was squatting on the steps, completely convinced. Daddy, sure, even a dog isn't as good as you. He looked at the screen of his cell phone, feeling very vexed. Just a few minutes ago, Li Jianyu received a message from his friend, saying that Muyao TV's live stream program, Eating Well for All 3 Meals, was also going to premiere in a primetime slot on the satellite channel. The format of Eating Well for All 3 Meals was a complete copy of 2 Under One Roof, which was already enough to make Li Jianyu feel frustrated. Now that one of them was going to premiere online and the other on a satellite channel, he felt even more upset. Although the television industry was declining and there hadn't been a variety show that broke the 2% rating for a long time, broadcasting on television meant that it had a greater influence and a wider audience. Chapter 346. On the other hand, if 2 Under One Roof was only broadcasted on the internet, the audience would still be mostly young people. At present, 2 Under One Roof was far ahead of the rest in terms of viewership ratings. However, if one day the popularity of Eating Well for All 3 Meals increased, perhaps Li Gui would become Li Kui in the eyes of the public. Are the efforts of the production team, Shi Sui, and Sister E going to go down the drain just like that? On Friday, the thing that Li Jianyu was most worried about happened. Eating Well for All 3 Meals premiered on Muyao TV and other major online platforms during the prime time slot at 8 o'clock. Due to the novel theme, Zhua Yi, who was a martial arts star, and Jiang Yuner, who was a famous singer with countless hit songs, the viewership ratings exceeded 1.8% within 10 minutes of the broadcast. This was almost the highest viewership ratings for a domestic variety show in the past 3 years. In terms of online viewership, Eating Well for All 3 Meals was also ahead of 2 Under One Roof, and the gap between them seemed to be widening. Gradually, Some negative comments began to appear on the internet. Eating well for all 3 meals is so interesting. I strongly recommend it, but what the hell is 2 under 1 roof? Is it plagiarism? Muyao TV is awesome. This is the first time that our whole family can watch a variety show together. 2 under 1 roof is so disgusting. They're just following the trend. Zhui Yi and Jiang Yun have been married for so many years, but they're still so sweet. This is what love looks like at its best. Previously, Shi Sui and Xiangyi were all the talk about being a couple every day. I just want to say that what's fake can't be real, and what's real can't be fake. When Li Jianyu saw these comments, he was so angry that he almost smashed his cell phone. Admittedly, he knew that Muyao TV must have done something, such as hiring fake reviewers to spread rumors, but there were even more people who began to criticize 2 under 1 roof without knowing the truth at all. Li Jianyu looked at Xiangyi, who was cooking in the kitchen. The girl's hair was tied into a bun, and her movements were neat and tidy. Shi Sui, who was beside her, although one of her arms was injured, she was still helping out, such as passing things or interacting with the netizens. In fact, it was very tiring to do a live broadcast every day, and the duration had long exceeded the original contract they had signed. However, Shi Sui and Xiangyi had never complained, and the staff of the program were also holding their breaths. They wanted to turn 2 under 1 roof into the most popular variety show of the summer. But what should he do now? Li Jianyu was at a loss. It wasn't that he hadn't thought of having 2 under 1 roof broadcast on TV, but he had been working at Muyao TV for so many years, so his connections were limited. He was just a variety show director, and he didn't have much say in it. The higher-ups of other satellite TV stations were not people he could come into contact with. Not good, Director Li. The assistant ran over in a low voice and showed him the comments in the live broadcast room. Li Jianyu's expression changed drastically. Is this the show that plagiarized eating well for all 3 meals? Jiang Yun is cooking and you're cooking too? Have some shame. Shi Sui originally had a good impression of him, but I didn't expect him to have no bottom line. He's really willing to do anything for money. I'm dying of laughter. They're a real couple, and that's called showing off their love. They're not lovers at all, yet they're still trying to hype things up. They're really imitating others. Someone in the live broadcast room tried to explain, but the new viewers didn't listen at all. They left after scolding, and then new viewers flooded in. Li Jianyu couldn't help but curse. The assistant was worried. Director Li, what should we do now? If this goes on, the reputation of our show will be ruined. All of a sudden, the crisp sound of high heels could be heard from afar. Chapter 347. Da-da-da. Every sound was like the beat of a drum, hitting his heart rhythmically. Good evening, Director Li. A familiar female voice sounded in Li Jianyu's ears. He turned around and was stunned. Director Ruan. It was Ruan Qing, the deputy director of Muyao TV. Ruan Qing's vision and ability were unquestionable. Back then he had several variety show proposals, but no one was interested in them at first. Every time, Ruan Qing was the one who recognized his talent and helped him get a few popular TV variety shows. I've already resigned. Ruan Qing was wearing a blouse, a long skirt, and a geometric patterned scarf. Her makeup was exquisite and proper, and she exuded the elegant charm of a mature woman. Li Jianyu rubbed his hands helplessly and asked, "Is that so? May I know what brings you here today?" As a social worker, he was still a little nervous when facing his former boss. Ruan Qing chuckled and said, "I saw the recruitment notice for your program." Li Jianyu was confused. Ruan Qing pulled out a document from her bag and said, "This is my resume." Li Jianyu was dumbfounded. He was dumbfounded and looked at this scene in disbelief. In the glass greenhouse, the warm-toned glass lamps refracted magnificent and bright colors. In just a few minutes, Ruan Qing had successfully joined 2 under 1 roof. Li Jianyu accepted this reality in a trance. He felt that he could go to the social worker discussion group and post about it. There would definitely be a lot of clicks. Hashtag about how I became the boss of my beautiful ex-boss and had to tell you about it. Hashtag that's right. Ruan Qing joined the planning team of Two Under One Roof, and even became the team leader. Since the live stream was still going on, Li Jianyu explained, "When we're done, I'll get everyone to say hello to you." Ruan Qing switched to work mode and took out a tablet from her bag to show Li Jianyu the PowerPoint she had prepared in advance. She said in a professional manner, "There are many reasons for the public opinion crisis that Two Under One Roof encountered today. First of all, the people who watch live streams and variety shows overlap, but not completely. At present, live streams and variety shows account for half of the video entertainment industry in our country. The explanation is very simple, and that is, Two Under One Roof has been promoted." Promotion meant that it was broadcasted on TV. Li Jianyu smiled bitterly. "I've thought of that too, but it's not something that can be done just because you want to." Ruan Qing took a sip of her coffee. "Director Li, may I ask if our production team has a complete promotion and salary increase plan?" Li Jianyu thought she was joking. "You're now the second in command of our show. If you get promoted again, you'll be the first in command." Ruan Qing, "I think it's fine." Li Jianyu was confused. "What about me? I'll be the first in command and you'll be the second in command." Li Jianyu, "Xiao Ruan, you're too funny, ha ha ha." As he laughed, he felt that something was amiss and said weakly, "You can't be serious, right?" Ruan Qing smiled. With the broadcast of the television version of Eating Well for All Three Meals, there were more and more comments mocking Two Under One Roof on the internet. Tiskeze, the online premiere of Eating Well for All Three Meals, has already exceeded 18 million views. Two Under One Roof only has 50 million views. What a joke. When Shi Sui was still a newbie, she spoke rudely to our best actor Zhua. "She's a junior who doesn't know how to be polite. Sooner or later she'll be beaten up." What live stream has more than 10 million online viewers? I think half of them are just rubbish. If it's really that impressive, how can it be an online variety show? Chapter 348. People tend to have preconceived notions. Now that everyone saw Eating Well for All Three Meals on TV, they naturally thought that Eating Well for All Three Meals was the real thing and Two Under One Roof was a fake. As for which variety show aired first and whose idea came first, they didn't even bother to check at all and simply began to criticize. Zhua Yi's fans, in particular, had been clinging onto Shi Sui. When Shi Sui first debuted, she had collaborated with Zhua Yi in a movie, and it was revealed that a newcomer had spoken rudely to a senior and was suspected of being arrogant. Later, Zhua Yi won double Best Actor awards and kept mocking Shi Sui about it. However, later on, Shi Sui won triple Best Actor awards and was the youngest person in the entertainment industry to win the Grand Slam Best Actor awards. Hence, Zhua Yi's fans didn't dare to criticize her. Until today, this old grudge was brought up again. At 9 o'clock, the live stream ended. Li Jianyu gathered the staff in the yard and introduced Ruan Qing to everyone. "This is Sister Ruan, my boss." Everyone was dumbfounded. "Huh. Director Li's boss," Li Jianyu said bitterly. "In short, Sister Ruan is now in charge of the planning and public relations of our program. You just have to remember that she's the boss of our program." He felt that this title would also go viral on the social media forum. #Hello everyone, I'm the boss. I found myself a boss. Although everyone was dumbfounded, they still greeted Ruan Qing in a friendly and obsequious manner. "Hello, Sister Ruan. Sister Ruan, when can we get a raise?" "Sister Ruan, I want to report Director Li and Old Zhang for secretly eating chicken." Most of the people in the program were young people. Although life was a little tough, everyone had something to aspire to and the atmosphere was particularly good. Ruan Qing naturally had no problem dealing with such a situation. However, she was used to the scheming in Muyao TV, but in the face of such simple and pure enthusiasm, she was at a loss for what to do. "Do you want to have supper?" At the door of the villa, Xiangyi poked her head out and asked. I cooked some preserved egg and lean meat porridge. Everyone was eager to eat and looked at Ruan Qing eagerly. Ruan Qing didn't put on airs and said with a smile, "Go ahead." Everyone cheered in unison and swarmed into the kitchen. After a while, Xiangyi came out with porridge and side dishes. Shi Sui was with her. Shi Sui had dealt with Ruan Qing before, so she took the initiative to greet her. "Sister Ruan." Ruan Qing nodded in acknowledgement, and her gaze shifted to Xiangyi. The girl's temperament was calm, and her dimples were shallow when she smiled. "Hello, Sister Ruan." "Hello, Miss Yang." Xiangyi asked. "Do you want to try supper?" Ruan Qing. "Then I'm in for a treat." They sat down in the pavilion. Ruan Qing tasted the porridge and suddenly paused. She seemed to have understood something. Xiangyi's cooking was indeed delicious. But apart from that there was something else. It was an irresistible warmth. Perhaps coming here was the right choice. 10 minutes later, the haters were flaming two under one roof the most. The official Weibo account of Nanqing TV suddenly posted a Weibo post. Nanqing TV. Tomorrow night at 8 p.m. on Saturday. Stay tuned to Nanqing TV to watch the first episode of the first season of the first domestic live streaming variety show. Be there or be square. The official Weibo account of Two Under One Roof immediately reposted the Weibo post, causing a huge uproar online. What the heck? Who's laughing at Two Under One Roof? Does your face hurt? Nanqing TV is an official TV channel. Oh, this is amazing. Chapter 349. Ha ha ha, this YWLR fan is proud and elated. No matter how awesome Muyao TV is, it's just a local TV station. Nanqing TV is an official TV station. This is the prestige. In the Muyao TV group chat, after Nanqing Satellite TV posted that Weibo, the group immediately held a video conference. The station head flew into a rage. What the hell is going on? Why would Ruan Qing join Two Under One Roof? How did Two Under One Roof get Nanqing Satellite TV's resources? For a moment, no one dared to speak. After a long silence, someone said in a low voice, "I heard that Ruan Qing has been in contact with people from Nanqing Satellite TV recently." "I heard about it too." When the station head heard this, he almost died from anger. "Then why didn't you say so earlier?" Of course, they all felt that Ruan Qing was just a woman. What could she do? That was an official satellite TV station. Would they care about a woman like her? They thought that Ruan Qing at most wanted to work in Nanqing Satellite TV and be a small leader. Who would have thought that she actually reached a cooperation with Nanqing Satellite TV? Eating well for all 3 meals was never as popular as Two Under One Roof. Even if their production team had arranged all kinds of scripts for Zhua Yi and Jiang Yuner to show off their love, quarrel, and fight with the guests, the number of viewers would never exceed 10 million. The popularity of the last live variety show, Heartbeat, had plummeted. It was only supported by the die-hard fans of the guests. The sponsors were all eager to get back their previous investments, let alone increase their investment. Now it was all thanks to Muyao TV. Now that they had finally come up with a plan to snipe Two Under One Roof, they had to take advantage of the premiere of Two Under One Roof on the internet. They had to do a TV and online premiere, then fight a war of public opinion and try to steal the popularity of Two Under One Roof. As a result, Two Under One Roof was about to be broadcast on TV as well. Nanqing Satellite TV, one level higher than Muyao Satellite TV. The station head was furious. Trash. A bunch of trash. You can't even compare to a woman. There was dead silence in the video conference. No one dared to say that the station head was the one who forced that woman to leave. Muyao TV suffered the consequences of their own actions, and Zhua Yi's fans were also rebuked by the Shi Sui sisters. Youngest Grand Slam Best Actor Sui Suizi Heartsuit Viewership Record Holder Television Emperor Sui Suizi Heartsuit Light of Acting Sui Suizi Heartsuit First Class Business Sui Suizi Heartsuit. Acting like a big shot? Did they really think that the internet had no memory? Who was the one who pretended to fight for real and broke Shersue's ribs? Back then, Yi left his image as a single male god. Now he's the equivalent of an idol. He hid his marriage to deceive his fans and then created a couple after marriage. Where did he find the face to step on our Ingdi? The Shui sisters' fighting prowess was not to be underestimated. Previously, in order to help two under one roof control the comments, they had scattered the crowd. Now that they had gathered together, they were able to defeat Yi's fans in minutes. That night, the internet was extremely lively. Netizens from all walks of life stayed up late to watch the show. What? So Yi had deliberately broken Ingdi's bones during filming. What? Sui's ribs were broken, but she still managed to shoot the scene in one shot. Godly acting skills. What? So Shui had misogyny. The only female celebrity he had ever had physical contact with was Xiangyi. On the one hand, the fans of the untimely couple felt sorry for Shui, but on the other hand, it didn't stop them from falling head over heels. The next day, early in the morning, the official account of Two Under One Roof announced the guests that would be coming today. Chapter 350. Two Under One Roof. Please sign here for today's surprise. We are fortunate to have invited the movie queen Yi to participate in today's live stream. There are also two mystery guests. Everyone, please look forward to it. We actually managed to invite Yi. Yi had excellent acting skills and gorgeous looks, but she was often attacked by others because of her sexy image in the early days of her debut. Her most famous film was Dustless, which was a collaboration with Shui. In the film, Shui played a detective who belonged to the good side, while Yi played a dancer who was both good and evil. She had a secret relationship with Shui. The director formed many artistic metaphors through their relationship, and the two of them also displayed superb acting skills, which were regarded as classics in the film industry. The two of them were about the same age, and Yi was 30 years old this year. When the film was released, many people were shocked by their acting skills in the film and mistakenly thought that they were a real couple. Hence, the two of them were rather popular in the industry. The reason was that Shui had never interacted with any actresses before. Some of Yi's fans immediately expressed, "Her Highness has arrived. Yi and ECP are worth investing in." When Shui was interviewed, he said that he liked Yi's type very much. "Ha ha ha, there's going to be a good show to watch. Yi is the beautiful type. Vase Fairy is going to be crushed by a beauty like Yi in second." Seeing how Yi's fans were being ridiculed, Xiangyi's fans were displeased. "Is our sister someone you can bully as you please?" Hence, Yi's fans were taught a lesson early in the morning. They were dumbfounded. Is this Xiangyi that popular? Why does she have so many fans? The live stream began at 9 o'clock in the morning. The loyal fans of Two Under One Roof immediately swarmed into the live stream. The camera panned to a distant view of the mountains in the distance, where the colorful windmills of Little Rabbit Farm were rotating in the wind. The vegetable fields were fertile, the garden was lush, and there were flocks of chickens and ducks. In the yard, Xiao Naofu and little Shiji were fighting. To be more precise, Xiao Naofu was bullying little Shiji. She refused to drink her goat milk and insisted on snatching the milk from little Shiji's bowl. The little Shiba Inu's black eyes were wet. It didn't fight back even after being hit a few times by Xiao Naofu's fleshy paws. It even gave the goat milk to Xiao Naofu. The netizens in the live stream. Hooligan acts. Sterilization warning. Wow, this Shiba Inu is so cute. What a cute little puppy. Have I been drinking too much sugar lately? I think little Shiji is spoiling Xiao Naofu a little. Ha ha ha, you don't have to. I saw the staff post yesterday. Although the two of them are of different species, they are of the same gender. Nothing good will happen if they get together. After the heartwarming scene was shot, the camera turned to the entrance of the manor. The black iron gate was covered in vines and roses. Zhong-yi, who was wearing a red V-neck dress, got out of the car with a strong aura. Her black high heels made her fair and straight legs look even longer. She was plump but not fat. She combed her wavy long hair, and as an actress, she accurately found the camera and smiled. Bullet comments in the live stream. "Aw, sister, kill me." Zhong-yi's smile is so enchanting that it makes all the beauties pale in comparison. Zhong-yi is such a queen. I finally get the charm of a 30-year-old sister. Vase Fairy really can't compare to her. In the next second, Zhong-yi turned around and got out of the car. She carried out a little bun who was wearing a princess dress and had her hair in a bun. She was also holding a rainbow lollipop tightly in her chubby little hand. However, when Zhong-yi carried her to the courtyard and saw Shi Sui who went out to greet the guests, Zhong blinked. Shi Sui greeted her politely. "Good morning, Senior Zhong." Zhong-yi was only 3 years older than him, but she had been in the industry for over 10 years. She was his senior. "Long time no see. You're so fat now," Zhong-yi joked. "I guess you've been eating well lately." Shi Sui chuckled. "Is it that obvious?" As soon as she said that, the little bun in Zhong-yi's arms suddenly reached out a hand toward Shi Sui. "Papa!" In an instant, Li Jianyu's vision turned black and he almost fainted. Father sure has a daughter. Oh no, not only am I going to be on the hot search list today, my Weibo is going to be paralyzed." Shi Sui raised her eyebrows and asked, "Are you?" Zhong. "Yes." "Papa hug." The little girl reached out her chubby and milky white arms towards Shi Sui. Li Jianyu's vision turned even darker when he saw Xiangyi who appeared behind Shi Sui. "Xiao Ruan, when I faint later, can you help me pinch my philtrum?" Ruan Qing squinted and asked. "Xiao Ruan." Li Jianyu was on the verge of breaking down. "Is this the time to be fussing over what to call me?" Chapter 352. Sister Ruan, is that enough?" Ruan Qing pondered for a few seconds and said, "You'll faint later, let's see how things go first. If you faint now, it'll affect your work." "Sister Ruan, you're such a capitalist." Xiangyi was obviously stunned when she heard the soft and adorable word Papa. Shi Sui's daughter. How is that possible? Even though her rationality told her that the probability was slim, she strangely felt a sense of suffocation in her heart. She was also a little frustrated. Shi Sui didn't like children. He didn't hug Zhong and instead rubbed her little head. "Zhong, I'm not your father." However, Zhong was very firm and she exclaimed in a childish voice, You are Papa." The comment section of the live stream exploded. "Oh my gosh! Zhong is Shi Sui and Zhong-yi's daughter. No wonder Zhong-yi retired for a long time a few years ago. She must have gone to give birth to Shi Sui's child. Shi Sui is toxic. Your child has already called you Papa, yet you refuse to acknowledge her. Is your own flesh and blood not as important as your character?" All the major marketing companies swarmed in, and those who were quick enough had already written eye-catching drafts. Shocking! Shi Sui's biological daughter has been exposed. She's actually... Shi Sui and Zhong-yi's relationship has come to fruition. I believe in love again. Zhong-yi is the empress of the Empress Dowager. She's a shameless homewrecker. There were those who were just there to watch the show, those who were trying to ride on the hype, and those who were making things up. All of a sudden, rumors and slanders spread at the fastest speed. The number of viewers in the live stream of Two Under One Roof skyrocketed, and in just a few minutes, the number of viewers had already risen to millions. While everyone was watching, Zhong-yi said indifferently, Zhong, you've got the wrong person. Mommy." Zhong blinked her grape-like eyes and tears began to well up in her eyes. "Mommy, you're lying." Zhong-yi naturally changed the subject. Zhong, there's a kitty over there. Don't you like Kitty the most?" Zhang was only 3 years old and was at the age when her attention was easily diverted. When she saw Xiao Naofu, her eyes lit up and she fluttered her little legs. "Mommy, I want to go down." Zhongyi put her on the ground, and the little girl bounced towards Xiao Naofu, looking carefree and innocent. Zhongyi tried to make light of it, but the netizens didn't buy it. Zhongyi must be hiding something. That's it. The denial is too weak. I was only 30% convinced just now, but judging by Zhongyi's attitude, I'm 70% convinced that she's having an affair with Shui. Miss Xiang. Zhongyi had watched some videos of two under one roof before she came, so she recognized Xiangyi. Xiangyi stepped forward and greeted him politely. "Do you have any tasks for me?" Zhongyi asked. Li Jianyu continued. "Today's task is to change pots and fertilize the plants. Then we have to build a fence around the vegetable field." Zhongyi nodded, indicating that she got it. She asked Xiangyi, "Where's the room? I'd like to change into some lighter clothes." "Senior, this way please." Xiangyi brought her to change her clothes. The two of them were polite and distant, but that was actually normal. After all, they didn't know each other before. However, in the eyes of the netizens, countless meanings were interpreted. Zhongyi is really like an empress. The vase fairy is like a maid in contrast. Tisk, I feel like a battle is about to start. Zhongyi has such a good figure, she can easily defeat Xiangyi. Zhongyi has been working with Shui since 5 years ago. A certain female celebrity is considered to have interfered in their relationship. Chapter 353. The netizens were having a great time gossiping about the emotional entanglements between celebrities. All of a sudden, all sorts of speculations popped up. Some said that Shui and Zhongyi had a one-night stand, and that Shui abandoned Zhongyi and her mother after becoming famous. Some said that Shui and Zhongyi had long been married in secret, just like Shui and Jiang Yun. They were going to announce it today. Xiangyi, on the other hand, had become the third party in the public opinion. While the others were talking, Zhongyi changed her clothes and came out of the bathroom. She was wearing a black singlet, tight-fitting sweatpants, and a large, oversized jacket. The gender-neutral sportswear style neutralized the sexiness of her figure, making her look clean and suave. Zhongyi's fans immediately started praising her, and they didn't forget to criticize Xiangyi. "Sister looks so beautiful in sportswear." Best Actress Zhongyi. Movie queen who can charm and defeat. Sister's figure is really like the ceiling of female celebrities. Vase fairy, who relies on her face to make a living, stand back. In the next second, Xiangyi also appeared in front of the camera. She didn't change out of her clothes and simply took off her cute apron. Inside, she was wearing a blue short-sleeved shirt with a few daisies dotted on her chest. She was also wearing a pair of high-waisted, wide-legged pants that accentuated her long legs and slender waist. His outfit was simple, languid and casual, but it made it impossible for one to look away. The comments in the live stream seemed to have lagged, and it took a few seconds for the comments to be refreshed. "I have a similar short-sleeved shirt. So the daisies on her chest look like they're in full bloom." To be honest, I don't usually think that Xiangyi is very good-looking, but when I compare her to Zhongyi, I realize that she's really beautiful. I'm dying of laughter. Is this your first day surfing the internet? Do you really think anyone can be called a vase fairy? The word vase is enough to prove that she's worth it. Coincidentally, Xiangyi and Zhongyi were in the same frame. There was only hurt when there was a comparison. Zhongyi's fans realized that Xiangyi seemed to be fairer, slimmer, and her breasts. *CK. What the hell did you eat when you were growing up? Xiangyi demonstrated it once. She just took out the plants and soil from the flower pot and put them into a bigger flower pot. She then added nutritious soil and slow-release fertilizer. You can put some of these insecticides into the soil to prevent pests from appearing. For slow-release fertilizer, just sprinkle it around like this. Xiangyi explained the steps very patiently. Some netizens noticed that the pots of flowers she gave to Zhongyi were all small and light, while the ones she gave to Zhongyi were bigger. Someone praised, "Sister E is really gentle. Love, love." There were also people who scolded. "Isn't he just trying to perform in front of the camera? Prove that you're doing more work than Zhongyi, scheming woman." When Xiangyi got up to pick up a pot of flowers from the flower rack, her short sleeves rolled up along with her movements, revealing her slender waist and skin that was glowing under the sunlight. Suddenly, the atmosphere in the comments section of the live stream changed. "Sister Yi's back isn't a back, it's a Bulgarian rose. Sister Yi's waist isn't a waist, it's a deadly scimitar. Ah, hurry up and block Xiang Yi's view. Mommy won't allow others to see Xiang Yi's waist." At this moment, Zhong Yi's fans in the live stream no longer had the cheek to dish Xiangyi with her beauty and figure. After all, the feeling of being slapped in the face was too uncomfortable. Chapter 354. Zhongyi looked up and inadvertently saw this scene. Just as she was thinking about how to tactfully remind Xiangyi, a tall figure suddenly appeared behind Xiangyi and happened to block the camera. Xiangyi turned around with the flower pot in her arms and blinked in confusion when she saw Shi Sui behind her. The girl's short-sleeved shirt returned to normal as she turned around. Shi Sui took the flower pot from her hand and their fingertips accidentally brushed against each other. Shi Sui didn't show any discomfort and asked casually, "How much pottery?" "Just a thin layer to cover the bottom of the pot." Shi Sui nodded slightly and went to the side to put the pottery into the flower pot one by one. The two of them got along harmoniously and naturally. A strange look flashed across Zhong Yi's eyes. As someone who had acted with Shi Sui before, she knew how powerful Shi Sui's misogyny was. The two of them had once filmed dozens of scenes but still failed. In the end, the director had no choice but to give up and replace the physical contact with a confrontation of the eyes. At that time, she was very curious about what to do if such a man really fell in love with her. However, she now realized that Shi Sui didn't seem to resist physical contact with Xiangyi. "Mummy." Zhang Zhang's call pulled Zhong Yi back from her wandering thoughts. She turned around and saw that Zhang Zhang was hugging Xiao Naofu with a bright smile on her face. Xiao Naofu was in despair. Why are human cubs so annoying? However, it didn't dare to struggle. It heard that human cubs were very fragile, and Xiao Naofu was afraid that it would hurt the cub with a casual swipe of its paw. Hence, it was bullied by Zhang Zhang to the point that it had nothing to live for. Zhang Zhang exclaimed, "Mommy, this kitty can bark like a dog." Xiao Naofu protested, "Meow. I'm not a cat. I don't bark like a dog. That's clearly the roar of a fierce tiger. Kitty, can you bark?" Zhang Zhang's clear eyes were full of anticipation. Xiao Naofu coldly turned his face away and ignored her. Zhongyi said helplessly, "Zhang Zhang, you can't bully Kitty." "Okay." Little Loli pouted and placed Xiao Naofu on the ground. Xiao Naofu, as if it had been granted amnesty, rushed towards Xiangyi. But halfway through, he was grabbed by the back of his neck. "Sister E is busy. Don't disturb Sister E," Shi Sui said with a smile. "Do you want me to play with you? How about a kiss?" Xiao Naofu was instantly enraged. "Woof woof woof. Dream on. Wishful thinking, dog man." Zhang Zhang's eyes widened and she said in admiration, "Wow, Papa is so amazing. It can actually make a kitten bark like a dog." Zhong Yi seemed to have thought of something, as she remained silent. This scene was seen by the netizens in the live stream. "So loving. It's obvious that he's coaxing his daughter. The look in Zhong Yi's eyes is so sad. It must have been hard for her to raise a child all these years. Scumbag Shi Sui. If you have the ability, then make an official announcement. If you don't care, why are you teasing Zhang Zhang? She had gotten her father's love and lost it. Are you still human?" The netizens were filled with righteous indignation, and they immediately imagined Shi Sui as a scumbag father. An untimely couple fan said, "Sure Ingdi might be coaxing Xiang Yi too." Immediately, he became the target of public criticism and was scolded like a sieve. In their eyes, Shi Sui, Zhong Yi, and Zhang Jiang were a family of three. Xiang Yi was superfluous. It was right to scold the mistress. On the contrary, there was a moral problem. There was a mistake in their thinking. They were openly supporting the mistress. Chapter 355. Most of the time, the more people there were, the more reason there was. As long as the moral high ground was high enough, they could judge others to their heart's content. What was the truth? Was it important? People always believed in what they thought was the truth. Just when the netizens in the live stream thought that they had done justice, Shi Sui rubbed Xiao Naofu's head and placed it in an empty flower pot next to Sister Yi. She said gently, "Don't run around, be careful not to get pricked by the thorns." Xiao Naofu snorted. "I'm not afraid." It waved its paw to show off its power, but it happened to be next to a pot of cactus. Meow 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 meow. The little kitten cried miserably. Xiang Yi, who was at the side, wiped her hands and carried Xiao Naofu back to the living room. However, Shi Sui squatted in front of Zhang Jiang and said seriously, "Zhang Jiang, you have to call me uncle." Zhang Jiang felt aggrieved. "But you're daddy." "I'm not." Shi Sui's voice was gentle, but his attitude was firm. "Zhang Jiang, will you call someone else mommy?" Zhang Jiang sounded like she was about to cry. "No, why?" "Because I believe you know that if you call someone else mommy, your mommy will be sad. So if you call me daddy, your real daddy will be sad too." Shi Sui tried his best to speak with logic that children could understand, but Zhang Jiang still burst into tears. "I'm sorry, Senior Zhong, I hope you can have a good talk with Zhang Jiang. I don't want this misunderstanding to continue, okay?" Shi Sui looked at Zhong Yi. Zhong Yi's lips curled into a bitter smile. Indeed, he hasn't changed. Two contradictory words could appear on Shi Sui at the same time. He was gentle yet cruel. He was really a gentleman most of the time and was polite to everyone. However, in some aspects he refused to take a step back. She originally had some selfish motives. But now it seemed that Shi Sui would not tolerate it at all. Zhong Yi closed her eyes and made up her mind. "Zhang Jiang, this is Uncle Shi Sui. He's not your father. Your daddy has gone to a faraway place." Zhang Jiang sobbed and asked, "Then will I still be able to see daddy?" "We'll never see him again." Zhong Yi's voice was trembling. Zhang Jiang cried even harder. Zhong Yi comforted her with a soft voice. On the other hand, Shi Sui's gaze remained indifferent. It was as if cold blood was flowing under his handsome appearance. In the live stream, countless viewers felt upset because of Zhang Jiang's tears. The scumbag must die. Sigh, no matter what the adults are like, what did the children do wrong? Zhang Jiang is so pitiful. Zhong Yi is clearly putting on a brave front. "I'm going to vomit. I thought the clock couple was real, but I didn't expect Shi Sui to be so selfish." Not only did they not announce it, but they even forced Zhang Jiang not to call him daddy. She forced Zhong Yi to lie to the child. Shi Sui would probably be drowned by the overwhelming comments if they were converted into spittle. In the living room of the villa, Xiang Yi applied some aloe vera gel on Xiao Naofu and bandaged it simply. Li Jianyu and Ruan Qing rushed over in time and gestured for the cameraman to film little Shiji's daily life for a while before telling Xiang Yi to turn off the microphone on her clothes. "Sister Yi, Zhang Jiang is not Shi Sui's daughter," Li Jianyu explained anxiously. Xiang Yi said calmly, "Yes, I know." Li Jianyu heaved a sigh of relief and said, "Sister Yi, you're so smart." Ruan Qing was speechless. What kind of man is this? It was obvious from the little girl's expression that she was jealous. Chapter 356. Li Jianyu was still babbling. Sister Yi, don't worry, there's nothing going on between Mr. Shi and Zhong Yi. Xiangyi said. Ah, is that so? Li Jianyu said. They just worked together in a movie. Because their scenes together were so spectacular, they have a bunch of fans who love them together. Xiangyi said. Oh, I see. But most of the couples in the entertainment industry are fake. It's either a publicity stunt or just a figment of the imagination of the fans. Ruan Qing covered his mouth and asked with a smile. How's Xiao Naofu? It's alright, it's just a little pricked. Xiangyi placed it in the kitty villa, but Xiao Naofu refused to sleep and insisted on occupying little Shiji's kennel. It lay flat on the ground with its buttocks sticking out. Maybe you can talk to Shi Sui, Ruan Qing suggested. Xiangyi said calmly. You've misunderstood. There's nothing for the two of us to talk about. We just work together on a variety show. Most of the couples in the entertainment industry are fake. The two of us are no exception. Ruan Qing coughed, wanting to remind her that Shi Sui was right behind her. However, Xiangyi was still calmly narrating. We're not a real couple. It doesn't matter to me whether he has a child or not. Me too. She paused, seemingly not trying to convince Ruan Qing but trying to hypnotize herself. I'm just a fan of his. The man at the door was tall and slender. He was standing against the light and his handsome face was hidden in the darkness, making it impossible to tell his emotions. Li Jianyu held his breath, not daring to make a sound. What kind of hell is this? Ruan Qing hesitated for a few seconds and asked tentatively. So, you don't like Shi Sui at all? Li Jianyu's gaze was vivid as if to say, Sister Ruan, are you crazy? In the next second, Xiangyi said in a huff, I don't like her. The figure at the door paused stiffly for a few seconds. A moment later the man left. Boom. Li Jianyu's heart was about to break. He hadn't even had the chance to witness the untimely beginning, but was he going to witness the untimely end? But Ruan Qing asked again, You really don't like it? She smiled and said, Zhong Yi and Shi Sui are together now, and they have a child together. The three of them seem to be a good family. Li Jianyu looked at Ruan Qing in disbelief. Sister Ruan, why are you fanning the flames? But he didn't expect something unexpected to happen. The room was silent. Xiangyi didn't answer the question. She just held the cat teaser and seriously teased the air. Li Jianyu was confused. Sister Yi, are you blind? Xiao Naofu is obviously in the kennel. Why are you waving the cat stick at the cat kennel? The corners of Ruan Qing's lips curled up. There were some things that could be conveyed without words. She walked up and patted Xiangyi on the shoulder. I forgot to tell you something. Today's two mystery guests are related to you. Xiangyi, Before she finished speaking, a kind and warm voice came from the door. Good girl, Tutu, Grandma is here to see you. Xiangyi's eyes, which were originally gloomy, immediately lit up. Grandma. Madame Xiang entered the entrance and yelled, Old man, since you're already here, why are you standing at the door? Xiang Yin's stubborn voice came from outside the door. What do you know? I'm just enjoying the scenery. Madame Xiang covered her mouth and snickered. She whispered to Xiangyi softly, Ignore him. He got up early in the morning and changed into more than 10 sets of clothes in order to attend your show today. I've never seen such a shameless old man. Chapter 357. Xiangyi imagined old Mr. Xiang changing into different sets of clothes, feeling both touched and teary-eyed. She turned her face away to hide the emotions in her eyes. Madame Xiang sensed that Xiang Yi was behaving strangely and raised her hand to touch her little head. Her movements were gentle and affectionate as ever. Did you encounter something that made you upset? Tell me about it. It's nothing. You can lie to others, but you can't lie to Grandma. Madame Xiang coaxed. If you have any grievances, feel free to tell me. Grandpa and Grandma are here to support my dear Tutu. Although Xiang Yin was pacing back and forth outside the door, He kept peeking into the living room from time to time. When he saw the door, he barked angrily. "Which blind fool bullied you?" Xiangyi sniffed and said, "It's really nothing." She was not afraid of being wronged. She was afraid that her family would show her concern after she was wronged. Madame Xiang said in displeasure, "What are you yelling for? Are you trying to show off your loud voice? Don't scare my dear Tutu." Xiang Yin was speechless. He gritted his teeth and lowered his voice. "Have you forgotten what I taught you when you were a child? If you encounter anything, you must tell your family as soon as possible." The Xiang family taught their children from a young age that their family would always be their strongest support. Hence, the children of the Xiang family were known for being united, and the elders were also known for being protective. Xiang Yin once got into a fight with the parents of the naughty child who lifted Xiangyi's skirt in kindergarten. At that time he said, "If you don't teach your child a lesson today, I'll teach you a lesson," which was regarded as a classic quote. I didn't forget. Xiangyi smiled, not wanting the two elders to worry about her. "Grandpa, Grandma, please take a seat first. I'll go pick some fruits for you." Xiangyi went out with the bamboo basket. Li Jianyu was used to being carefree, so he went back to work. Ruan Qing stayed in the living room for a while and briefly explained what happened just now. She didn't express any subjective emotions and simply stated that Zhang Jiang had misunderstood Shi Sui as her father before leaving too. Xiang Yin frowned and said, "This rascal, he's not worthy of my granddaughter at all." Madame Xiang took a sip of tea unhurriedly and said, "It's your granddaughter's fault for falling in love with him." "What did you say?" "Impossible. That's impossible." Madame Xiang rolled her eyes. "If Tutu doesn't like it, do you think it will affect her mood?" Xiang Yin fell silent. Xiangyi could be said to have been brought up by them, so they knew the little girl's character best. She was a calm and patient child. She would not be annoyed even if she read a boring medical book for an entire day. She would not cry even if her fingers were to bleed from playing musical instruments. As long as she set her mind on something, she would do it without any distractions. It seemed that nothing could affect her. But now, Shi Sui was one more person who could affect her. At the thought of this, Xiang Yin felt extremely vexed. Madame Xiang was meticulous. She thought about it more than he did. She straightened her collar and said, "I'm going to live stream now. Is the most important thing now. Let our Tutu realize her error and mend her ways. Don't let that wretched man steal her away." Madame Xiang looked at him sympathetically and said, "Haven't you ever thought that it's our Tutu who wants to steal someone else?" Xiang Yin was dumbfounded. The two old men arrived at the glass greenhouse, and Zhong Yi happened to come out with Zhang Jiang. Zhang Jiang walked towards Shi Sui, her eyes red from crying. "Uncle, I'm sorry." Shi Sui expressed assent indifferently and picked up the kettle to water the plants that had just been repotted. The corner of his shirt was gently tugged, and he looked down. Zhang Jiang's eyes were full of anticipation. "Uncle, can you be my daddy?" Chapter 358. Little Lolita was innocent and her eyes were red. If it were anyone else, their heart would have softened. However, Shi Sui was indifferent and he didn't even stop watering the flowers. "I'm sorry, Zhang Jiang." Shi Sui didn't say anything else, but Zhang Jiang had already understood what he meant. Tears welled up in her big black grape-like eyes and she slowly let go of the corner of Shi Sui's shirt. The viewers of the live stream broke out into an uproar again because of this scene. "I've never seen such a cold-blooded father. Even if she's not his biological daughter, she's still young. What's wrong with coaxing her?" Madame Xiang stepped forward and comforted her softly. "Zhang Jiang, do you want some candy?" She took out a toffeecito from her pocket. Shi Sui was speechless. He suddenly understood why Sister Yi's family gave her candy to coax her. Zhang Jiang hesitated for a moment, but in the end, she couldn't resist the temptation of the candy. She took the toffeecito and said in a soft and tender voice, "Thank you, Grandma." "You're welcome." Madame Xiang was very approachable and she was the kind of grandmother who was especially popular with children. Zhang, can you tell Grandma why you call this Uncle Daddy? Zhang looked at Shi Sui and then at Zhong Yi. After a while she said slowly, because Mommy showed me a photo of Daddy. Uncle and Daddy look very alike. But just because they look alike doesn't mean that they're the same person, right? Zhang nodded. Madame Xiang easily dealt with little Lolita and looked up at Shi Sui. Shi Sui, Grandma watched you grow up and I believe you're a responsible man. Is Zhang your daughter? The netizens in the live stream immediately perked up. Will the tables turn this time? However, Shi Sui sighed helplessly and said, Grandma, I've never even had a girlfriend before. How can I have a daughter? The netizens were flabbergasted. Is this for real? Shi Sui is still denying it. Not far away, Zhong Yi's face turned pale. She pursed her lips and tried to change the subject. Where's Miss Xiang? I want to ask her how much insecticide she put in. Madame Xiang suddenly asked. Miss Zhong, forgive me for being nosy, but may I ask if Shi Sui is Zhang's biological father? Madame Xiang's intuition told her that there was something wrong with Zhong Yi. Her attitude was too vague. This naturally made it easy for people to misunderstand. It was clearly something that could be explained in one sentence, but she kept avoiding the important points and dwelling on the trivial ones. It was inevitable that she would give people space to let their imaginations run wild. The old lady looked elegant and gentle, but in fact she had a strong vibe. Her eyes seemed to be able to see through people's hearts. Seeing her, Zhong Yi's heart skipped a beat. She clenched her fists and said hoarsely, Is it that important? Zhang misunderstood and her eyes lit up again. Mommy, are you lying to me? Is Uncle an uncle or Papa? This time before Madame Xiang could say anything, Xiang Yin hollered loudly. This woman comrade, parents are children's role models. Please teach by example and by word of mouth. Teach your own children well. Zhong Yi's emotions froze. The netizens in the live stream who were enjoying the show were dumbfounded. Did I hear wrongly? Xiang Yin called Zhong Yi a woman. A woman. Someone immediately retorted passionately. Ha, did he call her a woman? Does he know how to respect women? The old lady is being unreasonable and the old man is being overbearing. This family is so ill-mannered. The bad guys have really aged. For the sake of their granddaughter, they're hurting others so brazenly. Chapter 359. There were plenty of people who sympathized with Zhong Yi and Zhang's encounter, but their sympathy turned into anger. They desperately needed an outlet to vent their anger. First it was Shi Sui, and now it was Xiang Yin and Madame Xiang. Zhong Yi was usually addressed as sister, so it took her a while to accept the title of comrade. Zhong Yi's heart was filled with bitterness. Of course, she could guess that Xiang Yin and Madame Xiang were backing Xiang Yi up. She really envied Xiang Yi, who was doted on so much. Zhang, I'm sorry I lied to you. Uncle Shi Sui is not your father. Zhong Yi finally came clean. Zhang's eyes were full of disappointment. Then where's Daddy? She asked eagerly. Daddy, he's no longer in this world. It took Zhong Yi a lot of effort to tell the truth. He has become a star in the sky to protect you, Zhang. The 3-year-old Zhang didn't quite understand, but she could feel the sadness in her mother's body. Tears rolled down her cheeks, breaking her heart. The audience watching the live stream froze in front of the screen. Zhong Yi means that Zhang's father has passed away? Madame Xiang couldn't bear to see the child cry, so she took the initiative to coax Zhang. Zhong Yi pursed her lips and looked at Shi Sui. Can I talk to you? Li Jianyu gestured for the cameraman to leave, but Zhong Yi said, It's okay, you can film. It also meant that she agreed to live stream the conversation between her and Shi Sui. The two of them walked towards the vegetable field like old friends taking a stroll. However, Shi Sui maintained an appropriate social distance from her. He was gentlemanly and distant. Zhong Yi noticed this small detail, and a look of self-deprecation flashed across her eyes. Indeed, Shi Sui's misogyny is as bad as ever. I want to apologize to you, Shi Sui. I'm sorry. It's because Zhang's father has already passed away before she was born. He was a doctor who unfortunately met with an accident when he was participating in an international volunteer event abroad. Zhong Yi lowered her eyes. Her beautiful face was filled with pain. But I wanted to selfishly leave something for Zhang. So when Zhang asked about her father, I showed her the stills of you in Untainted, and lied to her that it was her father. Shi Sui had slimmed down to look like a paper doll for the sake of the role of Dustless. In the stills, Shi Sui had applied makeup and filters, so he looked slightly different from the real Shi Sui. However, they were the same person after all. Hence, when Zhang saw him, she felt that Shi Sui resembled her father. The netizens who had been the most aggressive in the live stream were dumbfounded. What the hell? All this wasn't because Shi Sui was a scumbag, but because Zhong Yi was lying. I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean anything else. I just didn't want Zhang to feel like a child without a father. Zhong Yi lost control of her emotions and covered her face with her hands to block her tears. Actually, you don't look like him at all. He's not as good looking as you are and he's not as tall as you are, but he's really, really good. At the end of her sentence, Zhong Yi was already a little incoherent, but one could tell that she was referring to Zhang's biological father. Shi Sui's eyes were deep and dark. He lowered his eyelids and the emotions in his eyes were thin and cold. Senior, my condolences. I think you need to be alone for a while. As soon as he said that, the Shi Sui couple was completely heartbroken. Shi Sui, you scumbag. You're heartless. You're tuning in to the Whispers of Romance YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.